Somebody once told me that if you're ever running a business and you're looking to expand, you're looking to hire, make sure that the person that you hire is better than you. Whatever you do, they can do it better. And that's because if you want to expand, if you want to get more done, not only do you want to get more done, but you want to do it in an even better way. And that's why you're going to make sure that that extra set of hands that you're taking on can do things even better than you can. I think that's actually hinted in the word hire. The word hire obviously means to hire someone, but it can also mean hire as in above. You want to take on someone that's above you and is better than you. Now, if we look in this week's Torah portion, there's something which relates to this. And that is that there's a very unique mitzvah in the parsha. The mitzvah is the mitzvah of maika, which means a safeguard, a guardrail. The Torah tells us that when a person builds a house, there's an obligation that if the roof of the house is accessible, if the roof of the building is accessible, that roof needs to have a guardrail. That guardrail ensures that if someone is walking on the roof and they come near the edge, they don't fall off and hurt themselves. Now here's the interesting thing. When you build that house and it has a roof and you put up a fence, there's actually a special blessing that you make. There's a bracha that you make when you erect the fence. Now what makes this interesting is that this is a very unique situation. We don't find in any other situation of safety that a blessing is made. For example, when you put on a face mask because of COVID-19, you don't make a bracha. And for another more practical example, let's say I need to drink some water and the water supply is contaminated. So I filter the water so that all those contaminants are taken out. I don't need to make a blessing when I do that because it's a safety thing. When you sanitize your hands, you don't make a blessing. It's a safety thing. So how come in this instance, when a person puts a guardrail on the roof, they need to make a blessing? The Rebbe explains this in a very interesting way. If we look at the pasuk, if we look at the verse which tells us this commandment, it says like this. It says, Ki sivna bayis vasisa maika legagecha. When a person will build a house, they should erect a guardrail for the roof. Now we know in Jewish thought, whenever it says build a house, it's referring to the idea of marriage. When a person gets married, they build a house, they establish a Jewish home. When a person gets married, a person is entering into a new stage of their life. It's very different to how things were previously. And since it's so different, it comes with many new opportunities, but at the same time, it also comes with many challenges. And therefore, when a person enters into a situation where there are more challenges, a person needs to erect a guardrail. A person needs to make sure that they're ready for any challenges that will come their way, and that they'll be able to withstand those challenges. And how does a person do that? By making a buffer, by making sure that a person has something to protect themselves, that when they're put into a challenging situation, they'll know how to respond. Now, why do you need to make a blessing when you erect a guardrail? It's very simple. When a person's in a new situation and they're doing new things, sometimes it's not just good enough for you to come up with things by yourself. Say, hey, if I get into this situation, then I'm going to make sure I do this, that, and the other to make sure I don't trip up, to make sure I don't fail. A person needs help in order to be able to succeed. And how do you get that help? That help comes from Hashem. When a person makes a bracha, when a person makes a blessing, he's connecting with Hashem and connecting with a source which is much, much higher than him, way above him. And when a person does that, that ensures that they won't trip up and that ensures that they won't fall. So now we understand the reason why a person needs to make a blessing when they put up a guardrail on the roof of a building. Setting up that buffer zone so you don't trip up is something which you need a bit of additional help for. And that's why you make a bracha, you make a blessing. That blessing gives you that power, that resilience that you'll be able to withstand all those challenges. Have a good Shabbos and have a great week. One more thing I want to tell you. This Monday at 8 p.m., we're going to be having the second class in a 4-part series on the high holidays. We're going to be talking about Rosh Hashana and some of the prayers that we say on that day. See you then, 8 p.m. on Monday.